Alright, everybody already know. I already made this video a few times, but I'm gonna try to make this the last. This is my new Euro USD strategy for the 15 minutes specifically, and Euro USD specifically. Now, people may think I already have a 15-minute scalping strategy. What's the difference? Well, with the settings being not even the number one difference, but this is made specifically for Euro USD. Euro USD usually has the lowest spread among other pairs. In my case, my spread for Euro USD specifically can be between 1 and 3, sometimes 1 and 5 on a bad day. I'm just being honest. I use Trader's Way, and I use Oanda. But Trader's Way is the one who has those spreads. Now that spread is not for everybody. Not for every pair, I mean. So like a regular pair will have a spread of probably like 10, which is still pretty low. So that just being said, that's why I made this strategy. I don't just go around making strategies. I make strategies when it can help me, and if it helps me, I'm sure it can help somebody else. That's exactly my thought process. I don't just make strategies just to post videos, because that's a waste of time. So with that out of the way, that's why the strategy is made, because it's made for Euro USD, because Euro USD is the lowest spread pair. So if you have a low spread pair with the scalping strategy specifically made for it, that can equal very good wins, because now you have low spreads, and then you have a strategy designed for that specific pair. So it's a lot of time put into this pair. I back tested this pair plenty of times. It came out with around 85%. Look, sometimes higher if I went further back. Win rate, I tested it on 70 trades. It lost 11. So it lost 11 out of 70 trades. This is scalping. So the profit's there if it's scalping, because on scalping you can take a profit. I'm going to say this because a lot of people ask me, should they scalp or do the trading that I do? Here's the thing. Scalping and swing trading. Swing trading, I just put in the trade and I do my other stuff. I go play the game, I go to sleep. Scalping, you look at the chart all day. That's all you do. If you wanna have time to do things, I advise you to look into swing trading, because swing trading, you trade the trend over days. Scalping, you sit at this computer and you watch your trade all day. I have time for that, but do I want to waste my time doing that? I really don't. Now, scalping you can get more profits on scalping. But what happens when you get more profits? You get more chances to lose those profits. That's what a lot of y'all don't see. A lot of y'all go for the scalping because you see more profits. But when profits come, more losses are going to come, because now you're taking more chances to lose. Like last week, I lost once out of the 5 trades that I took. I took 5 and I lost once. You don't have to trade all day, but I am going to use this to scalp. Now, I'm probably just going to use it to scalp when I'm sitting on the couch at night playing a game or something like that, but I'm not going to stare at the screen all day, because I don't have to. You could simply, if you got in at the right time, you could use this strategy for simple support and resistance. It's going to get you at the top of the trades most of the time. So most of the time when you get in a trade, it's not going to go any higher. Sometimes it will, but most of the time it won't. With that being said, I'm going to just explain. The rules are pretty much the same. If everything lines up, then you get in. You couldn't get in this because it's over the gray PP signal. But you could have waited. Can't get in now. Or you could have just waited. Usually, if this happens, I'll explain this to you, because a lot of y'all are probably going to ask me anyways. If I get a signal right here, forms over the gray PP signal, and it rides out, and I get a buy signal. Once I get that buy signal, I'm not going to get until I get this sell signal regardless, because usually when the sell signal happens, especially on the 15-minute chart, it's probably going to go down. So, with that out of the way, this strategy pretty much respects my PP signal, or the slope directional line. It respects it. It'll bounce off of it. It'll use it as a pullback area, and pretty much reversal. It's pretty much the reversal clouds that Lux has, but I don't like the reversal clouds too much, just because a lot of times it'll actually continue in the cloud as a trend. So it's not as accurate as I want it to be. So I don't really use it. Now I'll bring it up on a chart sometimes, but I don't use it. So you could probably use this as a more accurate version of the reversal clouds and Lux. And it bounces off of them pretty much all the time, unless it's crossing over. But you would identify that crossover by the Lux oscillator thinning and topping out. So as you can see right here, respects it, and every time it gets close, it went over a little bit, but it also came back. But you could justify not even getting out of this trade, because why? This is a support and resistance zone right here in front of your faces. It just hit it, and it went all the way back down. This strategy pretty much respects the 200. It's not even 200. It respects the PP signal line. You have a few breakouts, but other than that, it's pretty well respected. And I'll be expecting everybody to back test it, because they always usually do. And you can back test it. I have nothing to hide. But yeah, back test it. It's pretty good. Now, with that out of the way, here are the settings. And before I give you the settings, if you do have questions, leave them in the comments. I'll try to get back to you. Everybody asking me, what are the Lux oscillator settings? I made 4 videos about it. I'm not going to answer your question, because there's videos about it. If you want to find it, you will find it. That's all I'm going to say. It's in my channel. If you want to really find it, you're going to find it, because I've explained it in, I think, 3 or 4 videos. I don't know. But if you wanted to find the Lux oscillator, or you wanted to find some settings, I guaranteed you're not the first person to ask. Now, you don't find settings when you start skipping through videos. That's when the settings don't come apparent to you. That's why I put them at the end, because people will click on the video and then they'll watch for like 2 seconds. And, oh, settings not here. So people who are just looking for settings, I started to put them at the end. And then now they're asking me where they are, because they're not at the beginning. So they're in the videos. You just have to find it. But with that out of the way, like I said, this is made for Euro USD specifically. Do not backtest it and then come to me saying it's trash if you backtested it on AUD, JPY. It's not made for that. It's only made for Euro USD. 15. I've already released it to another guy. He's in my signals chat and he's trying to learn. So I'm trying to give him all the good stuff, because I see that he actually wants to learn. I did a group where I did a live stream where I went over my analysts. Like, this was deep analysts. Like, this was like a 50 to an hour live stream of me just doing analysts on all of my pairs. So this was a really deep analyst, and I know it helped those guys that are trying to go full time. And I'm just here to help. So I knew he wanted to learn, so I gave him this strategy last night. I had to test it for me, and it's good results. So first settings, Lux oscillator is 17 and 40. I don't think you need any of these. I have this at only use real closing prices, but I think that's for directional matrix mode. Nothing to do with any of this. Only thing that matters is sensitivity and agility. Enough of that. We're going to go on the first PP signal slope directional line. This one's at 300. It's not at 100. It's not at 200. That's 300. It's at 300 because when it's at 300, it will basically, it won't lag as much, and it won't, it's more smoother, but it won't lag as much. And it also uses, the pair uses it as a pullback zone, basically. So that's why I kept it at 300. So this one's at 300. The other PP signal is at 10, as it always be. I will never change it to anything but 10, because this is the perfect setting for it. So it will never be on anything but 10. Lux oscillator. Legacy mode, length is 7. Source is closed. All of this does not matter, but I know you're going to change it to it anyways because you want yours exactly like mine. And I get that, because I would do that too. But it doesn't matter. It's confirmation smoothness 80. Confirmation smoothing method is EMA. And directional heat map method is LinReg. Now, none of this matters, but I know you guys are going to put it in there anyways because you want to make sure your strategy is perfect also. I get it. Now, a lot of y'all may ask, why is the Lux Oscillator looking like this? It's not as smooth as it used to be. I get that. It's not smooth, but it has a reason. See, the 300 pp signal is a lagging indicator, as it always has been. It doesn't lag as much, but it still lags. So if I can get the Lux Oscillator to give me a confirmation signal before, and then I can get in right when I get that Lux signal, then I'm going to do that. So basically, the Lux Oscillator is at this setting because now that it's not at 100, and I'll show you what it looks like at 100. Now that it's not at, it's pretty much the same thing. Now it's not at 100, but you get in a little later. So it's pretty much the same thing, but you don't get in early. Simple as that. So now I changed it. It's actually at 66 at one point, but I was like 70 sounds better. So I just put it at 70. So basically it's doing the same thing. If it's, you're going to get more signals, but you can zone out those signals with the 300 PP signal because you're not taking any sales because the PP signal is still gray. It's still looking for buys. So you would have not took this. You would have took this. Nope. And you would have took, you would have took that. That's a small profit. Now, because this is a 15-minute chart, it's not the 5. With that being said, what was I going to say? You can get in and get out. That's how I back tested this strategy. I didn't always back test it. Like some pairs I'd skip because I was trying to make it realistic. Like who's going to actually trade this 24 hours a day? You know what I mean? So you can get in here. You get out. You can get in here. But a lot of times before you try to get in, I would try to wait for the Lux Oscillator to change because it will change. It's a pretty fast moving indicator now that I've changed it to a lower setting. So a lot of times it will change. I would wait for it to change just because it will, like I said, it'll always change. So instead of getting in right there when it hasn't changed, I would technically want you to get into a re-entry on a change. Now, you didn't even have to get out on this trade because it's a support and resistance zone. But I will advise everyone to wait for the Lux Oscillator to change and then get back in. Just as a safety measure. Safety measure. Because look what happens when it changes. You get that strong signal. But it changes, and what happens? You get that nice downtrend. And then it changes again. Get back in. Get that nice downtrend. And you would have got out here if you wanted to. So that's why I advise you to wait till it changes. It's very important for you to wait till the Lux Oscillator changes because that rule specifically will keep you out of false trades. And you can look if you want to, but it will keep you out of false trades a lot of the times. And this is a tip for anyone using it because I know a lot of y'all will. A lot of y'all just eat my strategies and just go directly on it. I'm all for it. But another tip for using this strategy. So the pair will reverse to, or it will pull back to the 300 PP signal, which is this long line right here. It will pull back to that line. So with that in your mind, you can now trade pullbacks and get the best possible entry you can. You get what I'm saying? So now, if it pulls back close, you already know that's a possible entry because it's the best possible chance. So if you got in right here and then it goes down, I would advise you to put another lot size because a lot of times it's going to pull back. And if you're trading like that 24/7, then you're going to have room to make mistakes like, oh, it didn't go my way. You're going to have room to make those mistakes because now you're trading double of what you used to trade. You get what I'm saying? So I'm going to be trading this personally when it comes out. Usually in my signals chat, we only trade hourly pairs and we scalp the hourly pairs. But this pair, we will be trading this for people in my signals chat. My signals chat has been doing pretty good. We will be trading this, so we should expect a lot more profits on the scalping side. I know a lot of people were wanting scalping. The reason I don't do scalping is because you're really not going to make a lot of money if you don't use a reasonable lot size. Like if you're trading cents, like 0.1s, you're really not going to do anything for yourself. Like I'd rather just swing trade because now you're just kind of wasting your time because you're gonna grow so slow, because one $3 loss could set you back, your whole day. So it's like, if you have a small lot size, I wouldn't even try scalping. I do swing trading first, and then I would try to go to scalping. But that's it for this video. I just had to explain my new strategy. This is probably, I don't really have a need to make any other strategy. This was just on my mind, and I wanted to make this for myself. And then I was like, let me release it to the other people, see how they like it. So I just wanted to make a specific Euro USD strategy, because I was backtesting, and I thought about that. As always, if anyone needs help, Instagram, Discord, YouTube comments. DM me on Instagram, YouTube comments, whatever. That's all your ways to ask me questions if you have any. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys.